Hey everybody, it's Gary here from the York Region Eco Team, Keller Williams Realty Centers, and I am a couple days behind in what I usually do in my weekly posts. And today I thought I'd talk a little bit about the community of Georgina and all the different venues and things that we have going on here. So I will talk just quickly about something we have coming up for those of you that might be in Georgina, or even those of you not in Georgina tuning in. We are known for the fact of the matter that we are real estate agents up here in Georgina, and we also are known for the events that my wife and myself and our team member Jake put on. And we have an event coming up real soon, so I'll actually post it in the comments after we're done, the flyer for it. And our next event we have coming up is our fourth annual Thanksgiving Day Pie Giveaway. And that will be on October the 6th, and it's a rain or shine event, and it'll run from 9 to 2 p.m. at the Georgina Ice Palace, which is at 90 Wexford Drive, over off Woodbine Avenue, and we're going to run from 9 to 2 p.m. So what we're doing there is we are giving away 250 pies, and that is in conjunction with our good friends over at the Queensway Marketplace here in town. They always help us out a lot with different things that we do. And so we're giving away 250 pies for Thanksgiving. A lot of people who be tuning in here also know that we run a car show in the community. It is now finished for the season. However, if the weather is good, we'll have our car show on that particular day. So we can usually get anywhere from 30 to 50, maybe 100 cars out if it's a nice day like it is today. And encourage you to come by and check it out. We're also going to have face painting. A good friend of ours will be in to do face painting for all the kids, and she will be in from just around 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. So we'll have a few hours of opportunities for your kids to get their faces painted. And Bailey's Restaurant will also have treats on the go and hot chocolate and coffee that we're providing. And we'll have different prizes and things. So it's going to be a really good day of events. Anybody who's been to it knows it's always worthwhile. There's going to be prize draws, and just a really good community event. Speaking of the community, what we're doing on that day is the pies are free. The only thing we'd like to ask that you could do if you're coming to the event is to please bring a non-perishable food item or 2 or 10. If you have the ability to be really generous, we'd love to see that. And or you can bring cash donations, and that is all going to the Georgina Food Pantry up in Sutton. So we support them heavily every year, and this is our big event to be able to help to support them. And our brokerage is actually involved with this. So if you happen to not be able to get to the event, you can go to any one of our Aurora, Newmarket, or Keswick offices, and you can drop off non-perishable food items there and just say it's for the pie giveaway. If you happen to need directions, I'm not going to get into posting all that today, but just call our office at 905-895-5972, 895-5972, and we'll be happy to help you. So that's it with regards to me promoting our event. But I wanted to talk about Georgina, and we've been here since 1991. And I started in the community in construction, working mostly out of the community when I first started, and then I started my own construction business where we worked in Georgina, and this was kind of our southern hub. We did start working a little bit in the city, and then we migrated into Cottage Country. And I was known for doing a lot of high-end custom work. So initially we were doing, excuse me, a lot of custom interiors. And then we migrated into doing full-blown house builds, et cetera, et cetera. And then around 2011, I decided it was time to exit out of construction. I'd spent my life around it, and then got into real estate. So a little bit about us is that we are full-time real estate agents. We've been active up here in the community since 2014. I got licensed in 2012, but we were in another community and then came back to Georgina. So we've been selling actively here since 2014, and we pride ourselves on being award-winning realtors. And part of how we got there is being very involved in the community. We've used social media to a very high degree to do what we do, and also doing a lot of different community events and also supporting other people's community events. So I'm going to talk a lot about why Georgina is so great and why we monikered the hashtag Georgina Lakeside Living. It is a great community. We've raised our kids here. We've been here a long time. There's a lot of great people. So I'll kind of just move through different venues and things from the south end all the way up. We're very fortunate in around, it was 2014, Highway 404 got extended and opened up here into Georgina. So it got brought up from Newmarket all the way up to Ravenshoe Road, and there is anticipation that will eventually extend its way all the way out to Highway 12. So it will make for a great expressway from the Toronto out to the higher outer regions of Cottage Country. Some of the things that, moving through the south end of town, we're really lucky that we have a double rank community center. We also have a Merck Center coming in, which is going to be more of like a YMCA type facility that's being built with completion date set for 2020. And that'll have another pool, an indoor track, all kinds of different things. It's going to be a multi-purpose recreational facility, and that will be on Woodbine Avenue. It's coming. We currently have the Georgina Ice Palace in Keswick, and we do have a pool in Sutton. So it's really good what the town's done in terms of town facilities. And speaking thereof, we also have a facility called The Rock that opened up in around 2011. And it is another multi-purpose facility that is open summer and winter. So in the summer, they have day camps and different events that happen up there. They have a high ropes course. They have a pioneer village there. There's baseball diamonds, soccer fields. The Civic Center is currently there, being the municipal offices for the town of Georgina. So it's a really good hub area just outside of town for people to be able to go to, very close to the lake. And speaking of the lake, there's a number of different things that people, whether you live in the community or not, can take in. So right from the far end, we have Sybil's Point Provincial Park. So we do have a provincial park here in Georgina, which is an awesome place and great camping, only 30 minutes, 40 minutes from downtown Toronto, and you can come up here and camp. The town does have a number of different parks. I would suggest that if you really want to know about all the parks here, that you just go on the Town of Georgina's website and look up all the different parks they have. But a couple different parks I'll talk about is De La Salle Park, which does have a handicap provision there. So anybody that has wheelchair accessibility issues and things like that, they do have a really good ramp and a beach mat so that anybody that happens to be confined to a wheelchair can actually get right down to the water. Great park. They have a lot of summer and winter activities there. Soccer fields, all kinds of different things. They're not using the soccer fields like they used to. We definitely have other places now that they're utilizing, such as the Civic Center. There's another park not far away called Willow Beach, and that's a really nice park as well. Ability to do barbecuing there, summer, winter again. A lot of the winter activities, we get a lot of people that'll come up from the city and or the US and use those parking lots to be able to take their fishing huts out and go ice fishing during the winter. Keswick is known for one of the biggest fishing derbies on the globe. So we have a yearly ice fishing tournament here that is organized by our good friends over at Canadian Tire here in Georgina. And they organize a really big ice fishing event every year. So it's always something to watch for. We have an annual perch festival here in the summer. There's a free day of fishing here as well in the summer that's put on provincially. So there's just a lot of stuff to do. And then moving back into the water side of things, we have a number of marinas from Keswick all the way out to Virginia Pefferlaw. So there's probably at least a half a dozen different marinas here, the biggest being Crates down in Keswick. They have the ability there to house anything from the smallest of boats all the way up to 50 and 60 footers we see in there. And then some of the other marinas are smaller, but a little more affordable in terms of price for launching and or keeping your boat moored there. So if you want any information with regards to marinas, you can always reach out to us. Another thing that's really good about Crates, and we also have Ramada, a hotel up in Jackson's Point, which is a 4-star resort. There's a gentleman in town here who runs a Sea-Doo rental facility, and he works both out of Crates Marina in Keswick, as well as the Ramada facility up in Sutton, or Jackson's Point. So there's an ability to be able to go out and see things and rent out some Sea-Doos for the day and have some fun. So we encourage you, again, if you need any information, you can't find it, just reach out to us with regards to any of those rentals or marinas, things like that. We're always happy to help with finding all of that. Some of the other things that are really good about Georgina here, we have an awesome, incredible library here, which is located at the Ice Palace. You can go in there pretty much, they're open 6 and 7 days a week, just depending on what's going on with different venues. They have a lot of really good stuff for the kids there. And speaking of kids, something that we're really heavily involved in is a facility called Jericho Youth Services here in Georgina. And they're really good in that they help teenagers that are going through high school that need hours, or for college qualifications when they're doing their courses, if they're getting into any type of youth services and things like that. That is exactly what Jericho is. So they offer all kinds of before and after school care programs for people, going, we are a community. People that have to go to work have the ability to do before and after school programs through Jericho at many of the local schools. So you can drop your kids in early and have them also entertained after school. Jericho also does some different community activities at the Ice Palace. So they have kids dances, and they also run sort of a gymnasium program there that even our kids used to go to when they were young, and it was fantastic. Jericho is also a not-for-profit, so they rely on funding from things like the United Way, provincial government, other sources that are out there that can contribute money to them to be able to run. And then the rest is they rely on donations, and anybody who can afford to pay in obviously pays in, but they definitely do assist the lower income people in the community. So if you'd like to know more about Jericho and how to support it, again, you can reach out to me. We're heavily involved with them, and I'd be happy to give you any information with regards to Jericho. Moving on to different things in the community, we have a ton of events here. Summer and winter, we definitely have a number of events at the Rock during the winter. So there's the Mayor's Levee. We also have Snowfest, and we have a couple of other events. There's a realtor, Trevor Como, in town, who usually does a family day type thing there. And we do have Family Day that the town of Georgina puts on. So there's a lot of abilities to be able to go to the Rock during the winter and enjoy the winter season, in that you can go and they have a tubing hill, toboggan hill. It is a bit of a ski hill there, so you can do some skiing and snowboarding. They have their own ramp there, so you don't have to worry about walking up the hill. They have a conveyor system that'll pull you up. And if you get cold, they have a full cafeteria inside and a large building that has bathrooms, everything you need in there, fireplace, so you can go in and warm up and huddle with the family and watch your kids go down the hill. The other thing that we have in terms of events running around town in the winter, we definitely have the Winter Carnival here. We have a winter fair. We don't do anything ourselves during the winter. We're too cold, so we stay inside. But there is the Ice Fishing Festival that I mentioned earlier as well, and the opportunity to go ice fishing. There's a ton of fish operators out here, including the natives. The Chippewas of Georgina have really good ice fishing facility out on the north end of the island that you can go out into the deep water. Some of the deepest water is out on the other side of Georgina Island. And there's some really good fishing out there. So if you need any fishing information, I do go ice fishing occasionally, so I can certainly help you connect with the right people to go out and do that. Moving back into sort of the summer things, we have a lot of different things going on through the summer. So ourselves, we actually run a car show during the summer here. So we do usually 16 weeks of summer. We start up right after Victoria Day weekend in May, and then we run until the weekend after Labor Day. So we run 16 Saturday nights, and we run at the Ice Palace here in Georgina from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. every Saturday night, and that's weather permitting. The only one date that we're not there is when we go up for Canada Day with the town of Georgina, and we're up at the Rock for that particular venue, helping them with our car show being there. A few other things that we tend to do too is our pie giveaway. We also have a number of different events. We have a backpack contest. We have photos with Santa at the homestead we're doing this year. And we also have a 12-day of Christmas contest where every day you just basically have to go in and fill out an online application, and we'll enter you for prizes from local vendors. There's also a number of other different events and things going on in Georgina. So we have almost every weekend something happening here throughout the summer. So in all of our pocket communities, Keswick, Sutton, Jackson's Point, Pefferlaw, Virginia, there's something going on in almost every one of those communities. So I would always encourage you to check our pages, or if you're on Facebook, check out Georgina Events and Things to Do. A good friend of ours, Pam Devine, actually runs that group, and she is really diligent at posting almost all of the events. And we have a lot of different things. So I'll speak from sort of summer to fall. You can pretty much find something to do. There's actually 2 big community garage sales in town, one for Simcoe Landing and another one at the Boston Pizza here in town. There's also a community called Pine Beach Association. They do a lot of summer events. They're right on the water. And speaking of beach associations, one thing that's really good, we have a bit of an issue here that we don't have a huge amount of public beaches. And people tend to be upset because there can be sometimes a little bit of burden of a lot of people coming up all at once from the city. So there are beaches here that you can actually join the associations that belong to a number of the streets. You don't have to be a resident, and you don't have to live on that street. So you can always join some of the beach associations, and they're a lot more private. So you don't have the fundamentals of as many public people in those areas. We also, during the summer, have Canada Day, so there's always an amazing fireworks display that the town of Georgina puts on. We have different things going on. There's always an annual beach bash. There's a summer fair. I'm just drawing a blank at all the things. There's just always something going on every weekend. We have Music in the Streets, which is put on by Connor's Music, which if you're a music person, it's awesome because it's all amateur talent that comes out with a ton of vendors. And Connor's Music is here in town and just celebrated their 40th anniversary. So they've been here a long time. Great music academy if you want to learn how to play music or just get better at playing music. We also have the Harvest Festival that actually just passed recently. So that is another great festival that celebrates all the vendors here in town and any type of vendor. So you don't have to even be local. You can come in as a outsider and start to sell your wares. You just have to basically pay to be a vendor here. And we also have another thing called Barbecue Fest in the summer. That's an annual event, usually the last week of July. That is up at the Rock and gives people the ability to come up and just gather. It's got some beer gardens, live music, all kinds of different things. We sometimes are there with the car show. So there's always something to do and see, whether you're coming out to that or any of the other events during the summer. And that's really it for now. I mean, there's just so much to see and do. We have a lot of historical places here in Georgina as well. We also have for people over 55, we have a place called Club 55 here in town, which has an amazing theater. There's a Stephen Leacock, there's a live amphitheater within it called the Stephen Leacock Theater. And we've been there for concerts and plays and different things. It's incredibly good. I'd always insist that if you enjoy theater or you like concerts and you want a smaller venue, it's a great place to go, very affordable. And if you're a senior, it's an awesome facility. They have a ton of stuff that's always organized for the seniors in the community. Our good friend Susan at Jericho also hosts a weekly bingo up at the Link in Sutton, and that is another facility too on Dalton Road. It is a community hub, and it houses many of our local charities or not-for-profits. There's Hospice Georgina in there, Roots is in there, which is a good public assistance for people needing transport in amongst different places in the community. There's the Chamber of Commerce, which we belong to, that is in there. And I can't forget that we also have our good friends that run the Georgina Farmers Market that work out of the Link. So they have an outside portion of the property that they run their farmers market pretty much the same amount of time as we do. They start up in May and run, I believe, right until mid-October, roughly 20 weeks a year, and they have great stuff there. So primarily organic and almost all locally grown. So if you're looking for fruits and vegetables and different things, they always have all of that. Good friend of ours, Murray, who runs Wienerlicious, is usually up there serving hot dogs and sausage on a bun. And there's other food vendors there as well. They have music. There's just a lot there. We also have some great ice cream shops in the community, with Murray Taylor being one of them that runs Moolicious. And we have Maple Leaf Dairy up in Sutton. We also have an ice cream shop here in Keswick, and I just can't remember the name. I think it's called Scoops, and it is up on the Queensway, just at the very top by Church Street. So a lot of different things, you know, if you want to just get out. We also have the Gem Theater here. So I know I keep going on and on and on, but all these things just keep coming to me as I'm talking away. I don't like to be too scripted on stuff. I like to flow out and cover as much as I can, so all these things are popping up. Jay Gorman is a gentleman who's been here in the community for a very long time and has had the Gem Theater here for a very long time. It's an awesome theater, far more affordable than running down to Newmarket or Toronto to go to some of the famous Players theaters and that. Seating is amazing. The theaters have been all upgraded. The popcorn and food vendor stuff there is all awesome, and he is always cheaper than for tickets than going down to the other communities like Newmarket and Toronto, as well as he always does a ton of matinee specials for school students in the community, and makes it just more affordable for everybody. So I always encourage people to check out the Gem Theater as well. And I think that's really it. I know I'm probably leaving out some stuff, but I would encourage anybody who's watching this to please just reach out to me. If there's anything you want to know about Georgina, we do, you know and go to most everything that's going on here, or we're hosting something ourselves. So we can always help you with anything you may have for questions, whether you're in the community or out of the community. We're definitely here to help you with that. And that's one of the reasons why I'm posting this video today, because a lot of people just have no clue about all the things that go on in Georgina. And I encourage you to actually follow us on social media so that you can see the different things happening here at Georgina. And, you know, even in my post, I alluded to the fact that we are the gateway to Cottage Country, which we truly are. We're one of the most southerly, on a geography standpoint, one of the most southerly, close to the city. I'm trying to use too many complicated words. We're in very close proximity to the city. So, you know, if you don't have traffic to deal with on a good day, you can be right downtown in 30 minutes, 35 minutes from Georgina. So it does make us the official gateway to Cottage Country, and we have everything Cottage Country has here. So we have a lot of waterfront lifestyle living. You can move onto the water in Georgina pretty much anywhere from, depending if you want to be in the outskirt areas of, you might be able to find something decent for around $500,000 on the water. And we've got properties here that run up to $15–20 million. So whatever your budget or appetite is, we have it. A very nice waterfront community. And again, I would encourage you to talk to us about that. We also have great schools here in Georgina. We have Catholic and public schools as well. We have elementary as well as high schools. There are no private schools here in Georgina, but down in Newmarket and Aurora, we definitely have private schools down there if that is what you need for your children. And we can talk to you about the different schools there. We have knowledge and experience with them. Our kids went to one of the private schools in Aurora. And that's it for today. I've been rambling on long enough, so I thought I will bring it to an end for today, and I hope you guys have enjoyed at least getting some information about Georgina. And again, please come out to our events. We run the Ones Car Show in the summer, so that again runs from May until September. And on Facebook, you can find it by just going to Georgina's The Ones. We also have other events that we run, so reach out to me anytime. 905-806-3952, 806-3952, and I thank you for taking the time to listen. And if you know anybody who's thinking about being in Georgina or needs information, please share this video. It certainly will help shed some information to them, okay? And thanks again, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.